Hey everybody, this is Robert Rivera with Who's On First, the show. And today, we're going for a tour to the Cleveland Guardians Progressive Field. So, we're gonna go inside, we're gonna check it out. They're coming along. Let's go. Got a nice little map for the field, the Rocket Mortgage Field House. Casinos across the street, ball game gates. Straight ahead, there's the executive offices for the Guardians, Ballpark office. And then right across the street, Rocket Mortgage Field. Looks like this is the home for the Cleveland Monsters, hockey, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So they're right next to each other. And we're staying right across the street over there. We got Satchel Paige, Larry Doby, Frank Robinson, Cleveland Indians legend. Here's the media gate. They're not letting me in right now. Oh, nice guitar. And it says Indians. Let's see what we got behind this gate over here. Nothing. That's pretty cool. Yes, Louisville Slugger with a baseball. That's pretty cool. It's the all-time career stats they have. All right, Pierre Tykov for batting average, 367. Pete Rose, 4256. I didn't even gotta look at that one. Barry Bonds, 762. Hank Aaron. He's got most RBIs, 2297. Ricky Henderson, stolen bases, 1406. I ain't gotta look at that one either. Runs, Ricky Henderson, 2295. Wins, Cy Young with 511. Mariano Rivera with the saves, 652. Nolan Ryan with strikeouts, 5714. Cy Young, 7356. Jesse Orosco with the games, 1251. It's like this is the big gate here. Entrance, home plate. Right off the highway here. For those who didn't know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, not too far from here. 15 minutes north. Now, just because there's nobody playing doesn't mean the field isn't being worked on. You guys do a great job pressure washing there. They're on the field, making sure the lines, the dirt's good. It's more than just having a game. There's a lot of stuff going on, especially when the game's not being played.
I'd like to start in this area right here. So this is a tribute to League Park, this area right here. You'll see some of the pictures of players that played at League Park. Chris Speaker, Napoleon Lajoie, which is one of the names of our teams, was named after him. Earl Averill. You'll see about the wall up there in right field, some of the same people. So you see Averill, number 3, and people that played at League Park. That was our first stadium. Progressive Field is the 3rd of our 3. So we have League Park, which was built in 1891. Still there today. About 5 years ago, it underwent a major renovation to try to save the stadium. It was going to be torn down and just housing put there. But had a good article in the paper yesterday, in fact, about League Park, E66 in Lexington. If you love baseball history, I tell locals to get there because there's a baseball museum there. Babe Ruth played there, hit his 500th home run. Ty Cobb played there. Cy Young threw the first pitch there. Tremendous history of Cleveland baseball. Our first pennant up there, you see far left, way up in right field, 1920. Our 2 World Series championships. 1920 was at League Park. in 1948 was at the Municipal Stadium, which is no longer there. That was our second stadium. So that's now Cleveland Browns Stadium. So this one is 30 years old next year. As I said, $169 million to build. It's a 28-acre complex. 12 acres is the ballpark. And you've got the plaza right next door. We have a lot of parties there for the Cavs in the summertime, and then World Series and playoffs, we've had big parties out there. And Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse is across from the plaza. This was Central Market, just parking lots and rundown buildings, and so the new era of ballparks kind of copied Camden Yards in Baltimore, where it's just carved out of your downtown area. So it's beautiful. You got the buildings in the background. We'll talk more about the entire stadium. But out there in right field, you've got these concession stands and this brick here, which likes to bring in the local flavor of restaurants, Ohio City Burrito and Happy Dog, which is Gordon Square, and this brew kettle's in Strongsville. This brick emulates Lake Park with the arches. The arches is a theme that we tried to carry around the ballpark, from the bridges over the flats, which we'll get a good look at next. So out there in right field, there's 5 distinct neighborhoods that are featured. They all have a plaque. So you could come here and get a little bit of history of the food, culture, neighborhoods of the city, and it's really a nice way to see Cleveland. Number 19 here, Bob Feller. I tell tour groups that you can't go 25 yards here without seeing something honoring Bob Feller. He's really featured in our Cleveland history as the greatest right-handed pitcher we've ever had, and one of the best in baseball history. So that's a nice place for people to take a picture of. Let's go upstairs. See this building here? This is the administration building. You came from the gift shop. That's going to have to deal with some renovation issues. In fact, we have a meeting on Wednesday to talk about next year's tours, because it's going to change a lot. There's going to be a lot of construction. A 5th floor is being added to this building right here. It's going to be fascinating. They tell me it's going to look completely different. So just somehow imagine that this left field is going to be connected to some type of a rooftop, and then you can overlook the Cleveland to the west. There's the Cuyahoga River. That body of water there is the Crooked River, which is Indian for Cuyahoga. And you see the arches above the ad building, the arches above doorways emulating the arches of the bridges, and the exposed steel of the stadium matching the exposed steel of the industrialized city that we traditionally are. We still have heavy industry, steel and so forth, but we've transitioned to healthcare and to computer, technology, but industry is still big in Cleveland. Smokestacks, skyscrapers, trying to match the light towers here. If you look straight above, you see the light towers looking like giant toothbrushes instead of that horizontal lighting. Those 2 statues right there are 43 foot tall. They're called the Guardians of Traffic, the Guardians of Transportation. This is the Carnegie side of the bridge. That's the Lorraine Carnegie Bridge. The Carnegie side is on the east. If you go west over the Cuyahoga, the Lorraine Avenue, you can see in the distance 2 more structures. They've got 4 statues on each side. So 8 statues holding a ground mode of transportation that you would have used in 1931 when they were built. As we go, you'll see these lithographs, moments in history, but the stadium pictures are really cool drawings. This is Municipal Stadium, our second stadium in our history, which is no longer around. Cleveland Browns Stadium replaced this, but this is where I saw a lot of games in my youth and adulthood. You could jam in 80,000 people if you had a doubleheader with the Yankees, or like this is the 1948 World Series. This wasn't really a stadium designed for baseball, but baseball was played there as well as football. Bill Veck here is the general manager, owner, and he puts this fence up here because the actual fence was 470 feet away. No one ever hit a ball into those bleachers, ever, in over 100 years. Not only could he get more butts in the seats and more money, he could move the fence closer. So I think this was at 410, totally reachable by especially the Yankees and so forth. But when other teams came in, like the St. Louis Browns, who weren't as good, he moved the fence in to help the Indians. And he'd move it back to help the, stop home runs for the Yankees. So it was kind of like back and forth, but then baseball said, no, you got to leave it there at the way it is on opening day, and then you're locked in at least for that season. Let's go in here in the press box and get a better view of the ballpark. This is the largest press box in baseball, if not the largest one of 146 seats. We reserved this seat right behind you for Bob Feller. That is his memorial press box seat. Like I said, almost every section in the stadium has a tribute to Bob. Until the 1920s. So all of these writers helped spread the love of the game. That's where the tradition of keeping score and written accounts of the game. And here we get into the radio and TV announcers. You'll know more of these people here because these may be like Dick Enberg and Bobby Costas. You can take a peek into this. A couple of these booths have doors open, cleaning them after a series. Here's a nice wall mural of Cleveland Indians / Guardian radio and TV, 1921. So it nationally started in 1876. Almost 50 years of strictly reading about the game. So the charm and so forth, you could never get away with that today because people don't read. They listen to podcasts, they watch videos. It's a very visual age. So here you can see they're getting the press box all cleaned up from the weekend. And here's a visiting radio booth. Bernie Harwell gets named that. He was this guy right here, named as Hall of Fame announcer for the Tigers. Spanish radio. And then your Valley Sports TV with Rick Manning, Matt Underwood, Andre Knott. Pretty good view of the ballpark. So let's go this way. These are pictures of guys with the retired numbers. This wallpaper is the blueprint, blowing up, of course, the blueprint of the original stadium. We were called Indians Park. Gateway Complex, and then Dick Jacobs bought the Navy Brains, as we mentioned earlier. So here's a call-in club. High-end food. You got your pork chops, your chicken cordon bleu, your steaks. 100 seats in here, and you must have a season ticket. Matt Collick's companies are right behind you, so he's doing a pretty nice job of bringing in some extra money to the team. Leaf Guard is famous for people that live around here, but he's got a media company, a NASCAR, and he's got a golf division, charitable giving. This over here is the discount drug mart seats that I told you about from the press box. Now these are very affordable for a nice evening if you want to give yourself a treat. You can go on SeatGeek or even the Indian or the Guardian site and buy tickets for Thursday's game, say with the Orioles. But this concourse runs all the way around the ballpark, and all of your concessions and your, wood shops and paint shops and barber shop is down here for the players if they want a haircut.
Nice.
This is all going to be renovated. A lot of stuff you see in the hallways. Again, it's just over 30 years of stuff being done. So let's go down here. I'll show you 110 suites, and they cost $1 million to purchase back in 1994. You had to buy a 10-year, $100,000 a year package for the 12 seats in your suite. You got no game tickets, you got no food. That was just the ticket to buy the right to have these seats down here, the suite, right? We're going down even further than 19 feet below field level. This is underneath the field, as you'll see from the
Sure looks Joe Jackson.
you know. So when you get advertising and you get concessions and you get parking, that 455 game sellout, you didn't even ask what the cost of the ticket was. I can remember coming down here, this was before online buying, on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, the week of, buying tickets for the next season. As soon as the schedule came out, you bought tickets for the next season because otherwise you wouldn't get any. So these suites, as you look at them now, 30 years later, you're like, yeah, that kitchen's nicer. You know, come on in, I'll show you. This is your dining area. It's all going to be renovated. Somehow, this is all going to be restructured. They may just open all of these suites up to make all 10 of them just one big executive lounge. But if you wanted this today, I think $8,000 per game. $8,000 per game. So, you know. So this is something that very few stadiums have, maybe 3 or 4 in the country have these below level field seats. I know Pittsburgh, I think Anaheim, Dodgers. So you get these seats here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get 12 seats in your suite. Most people are going to stand up. If you stand against this fence, you're closer to home plate than the pitcher is. Closer to home plate than the pitcher. It's 59 feet from here. It's open here, so the catcher can come back and maybe try to catch a ball over the fence line. You can hear the players talking, the umpires yelling, you know, nicely debating a call with their friends. Visitors dugout right there. They'll flip people balls. Home dugout down there. They'll flip people the baseballs. You see the sprinklers going, 59 sprinklers out the field. The scoreboard looks pretty good here. So, all right, let's go down this way. We'll go down in the field. They've got showers in there. They've got a lounge. Just a place to decompress, get away from the fans. And they come right down these steps here, or up these steps. The only thing the ground crew asks is we don't touch the field.
Correct.
Don't bend down to touch it. Don't step on it. They've done a lot of hard work, and it is real. It looks artificial.
It's
so
hard.
neatly
Yeah, this is a rubber.
rubberized surface. Yeah, you get out to the outfield, warning track is a crushed brick. We used to have this, but the players complained it was too slick. So you can see it's slippery, even though they have spikes. That the warning track in fair territory is all crushed brick. Plus it makes you need to know what sound difference from grass and warning track.
All right, so here we are now at the field of the Guardians. Gotta be nice. Guys get upset. They do a lot of hard work getting these fields ready. But we're here on the field, and you're with me. We got one more thing to do, and we're almost out of here. So we had a great tour at the Cleveland Guardians. Got some good merchandise. I'd like to say thank you guys have been really gracious. The food, the pizza here has been pretty good. Man, had a great time, and I'm glad you came on the tour with us. As we say here on Who's On First, keep swinging.
If you like the show, please do me a favor. Subscribe. Right? You see it? It's right there. Subscribe, share, like, and don't forget, put that bell on. It'll ding you when I put something else on, all right?